Pam at the Paper Outpost here, making some use of Pilo scraps. Yeah, some bebops and jewelry and beads and stuff, and making some little tabs for my journal. And I just thought I might share this. Maybe somebody else might be interested in making this. And let's see if I can get this set up right. Probably not. Okay, I'll put that there. Let's see, so you can see. Okay, so here's some examples. And basically, I have a lot of little extras, but what you can do with these is take these and you attach them to the side of your journal pages and you use them as tabs. And it's a great way to use up little beads and bops and materials and stuff like that. And I have a lot of extra materials and stuff. And here's another example. And so there's fabric and beads and paper crunched together and little doodads and danglies. Here's another one. And again, you just open the flap and glue it to your journal page. Or you can just sew it right to your journal page from the get-go, but I'm not that dexterous with the fingers, so it was easier for me to sew them ahead of time. Then I got playing a little more fancy, and you can layer the tabs. Yeah, and what I would recommend is that, here's an example. If you're going to layer the tab, just some thread, a piece of scrap, and some eco-dyeing paper scraps or fabric scrap that I want to use up. Put it all together first, and then slip it in to your paper clip, not your paper clip, your safety pin. All right, it's just, shall we say, easier to go through as one. Yes. How do I know this? I tried it doing it individually and, well, just about pulled my hair out doing that. So there you go. You got a clump. Now you just sew it. You can hand sew it. You can machine sew it. You can glue it and not sew it. Up to you. Okay, so I got it on my machine set up to sew. And I'm making sure that the metal is not under my machine. Make sure that my tails are out. Yep, they're out. And we're just gonna, make sure that don't lose that little tail. Get a couple stitches in and we're good with the tail. Okay, it's pulling in there, better. Okay. No, we're out. I'm back with a longer tail. See that? Got a longer tail. I'm getting foiled by my tail again. All right. Okay, so I'm going to actually just hand crank this so you can get an idea. You want to go, depending on your machine. My machine likes to go slow, not a world's fanciest machine. Now I'm just going to go back, give it one more little line to secure. And we're done sewing. Okay, so now we're done that little gipper. And that's what that one looks like. Oh, I feel like FUNDLE fingers here this morning. All right, sorry, I've been working with the gouache. Or not the gouache, the gelato. Yeah, okay. You know, that white paint. Oh, Lord. Okay, so there you go. And so that one's ready to go. And I've got some other hand-dyed linens. I cut up some linen tape placemats, and I'm going to use those in here as well. And you could even get fancy and like sew on tiny little beads or little dangles from these flaps, but I'm not that advanced. Okay, but anyway, here's an example of one using dictionary paper, fabric, bead, wooden bead, gold bead, little lace, and a P square. And where I'm, pulling all this from is I have this like pile of what I call little baby scraps, little tiny little snippets of nothingness, but just felt like I could do something with them. And yeah, I could just throw this wad away and that would be fine. And sometimes you have to do that. You have to go in and throw the wad away. But, I do keep one little Ziploc bag just full of little tiny pieces. And sometimes I just want to sit down and play with little tiny pieces. And so here's just a paper clip. Works easier with the bigger paper clips as opposed to the smaller ones, just because it's easier to get the beads on there. Doesn't have to be super fancy or rocket science. But there. And you can put the fabric in there. You can turn the fabric around, put the shiny side out. That would look pretty, huh? All right, let me do that one and I'll show you. All right, there's that little guy done. I did a layer one. That looks like from the back. Yep. And he'll get attached to a journal. So a fun way to do some alternative tabs with your bits and bobs, and you can certainly use up your tiniest of scraps doing this. Puts them to good use. Not going to end up in a landfill somewhere. And so you can transform this to this. Yeah, if that floats your boat. Bam at the Paper Outpost with the glue and scissors. Happy crafting.